God's issue 2 heads to the House of Ranks and Numbers, where Dr. Circle looks over the dead, telling Aiko that God is not pleased that there are so few of them left, leaving them open to attack now that there is only 3 of them. 19th suggests that they solve the problem by increasing recruitment aggressively, and Circle tells him that God sees this recent Babylon event as just one of many, and it was a premeditated move by the other gods. Aiko thinks that using the word God is antiquated, but Circle is suddenly overcome by their god, who demands that they gather strength in numbers as more Babylon events will be coming. The possession fades and Aiko is convinced that the word of God is the best descriptor for what she just saw. She tries to help the second up, but he refuses aid, damning Aiko for having him do that, since now that's just another mark in her ledger. Aiko tells him that she just needed to make sure that these orders were coming from the one on high and not just Circle himself trying to push his agenda. 19th agrees with Aiko that they need to have their eyes open on this, since this will cause major problems with the compact they have with the other gods. Circle reminds them that the natural order of things has spoken and they have to act on their wishes to recruit more people, as in the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange and his magical cohort want to understand who Cubis Core is. Strange stops the meeting, ripping one of Dimitri's tracker tags from the wall and giving it back to the man, understanding the reasons why he is doing this undertaking and even somewhat agreeing with it. However, he warns the man never to do this in his sanctum. Dimitri agrees to, and Strange gets back to the delving, with Brother Voodoo conjuring up a portal. Strange demands that Cubis Core show his true self, and the crazed villain appears, ranting about needing to wake up and needing his box, as Win wonders if they are still going down this dead road. Voodoo, Wong and Clear decide not to partake in this particular delving anymore, teleporting away. Dimitri isn't impressed with Strange's friends, but the sorcerer doesn't like how he and Win are so blinded by their science and their beliefs and everything they were taught at the academy, which doesn't teach anything about this world or of magic. He reminds him that magicians don't have colleagues like scientists, and they certainly do not have friends. At Columbia University, Aiko delivers a business card to a young woman. The woman, named Mia, looks at the card and finds a series of numbers on it, but also sees her watch, signaling that she is running late. Mia rushes back to her dorm, apologizing to her waiting roommates for always studying. Strange meanwhile tells Win and Dimitri that while the Butchub reduced Core to a childlike state, the one thing a child knows is the call of the familiar. Strange touches the being's head, wanting him to show them the way home. The group are teleported to an abandoned warehouse in Athens, Georgia, where Core crawls into a Skinner box, calling it home. Steven recognizes it as Core crawls inside and seals himself in. Dimitri has his tablet scan the box and tell him all about it, learning that it's called the Skinner box and it's used to observe and program behavior of someone contained in it, with this particular one designed to re-educate magicians, and it is owned by the avatar of Lord Chaos and Master Order, the In-Betweener. Inside the box, Core asks his master if he has really lost it all, but his master tells him he is no longer lost and he can help him. Elsewhere, Mia and her roommates go out for dinner before deciding to go to a club. However, Mia wants to leave to go and study more, and the woman heads back to the library, soon remembering the card she was given by Aiko. She figures out the numbers are a book reference, heading deep down into the library basement stacks, and amongst the stacks she finds the number corresponds to a book about the Black Priests, and as she goes to grab it, Aiko appears, quoting the Bible and asking if the forbidden knowledge was worth it, but she knows that Mia would find it in some way or another, and this is just an old test to find out why those who are searching for it want it. Mia figures that any random person could find this book, and it's a pretty flawed system, but Aiko reveals that she can't actually see the book on the shelf, since you need the spark of talent to see the path, and if she can see it, that means it's Mia's birthright, and she just has to reach out and claim it. Mia grabs the book and a doorway to the Library of Worlds opens. As they walk through the giant library, Aiko tells Mia all about the unseen order of the universe that most can't see or touch. However, people like Mia who have the spark can also live within that world. Aiko reveals that she knows everything about Mia di Maria, and she was raised in an orphanage until she was placed in a rather unique guardianship. Mia says that she prayed all the time for something like that to happen, but Aiko tells her that she actually spoke the words of power and the universe bent to her will. Mia wants to know how how she knows all of this, spotting some vampires which shock her. Aiko corrects her on what the creatures actually are, knowing all about them since they track and catalogue them and many more. She formally introduces herself to Mia and tells her about the Centaur, and while they are science-based, Mia is a creature of magic, and Aiko would like the opportunity to observe and study Mia. Mia thinks that this sounds a little creepy, and it assumes that she wants any part of it, which she doesn't really want to. Aiko tries to remind her that she would be wasting her gift if she went back, but Mia insists that she has to go home to study, leaving Aiko to question whether she's finding education enlightening, which upsets Mia. The girl asks what she would get in return for letting Aiko watch her, so the woman says that she could tell her that she'd get the knowledge that she was wanting so badly, or that her journey will soon see her standing between worlds doing unbelievable things, but instead she tells her that she'll finally have a life that she isn't confused by or ashamed of. Later, after heading home, Mia is snapped out of her daze by one of her roommates, who goes on about her night out. She can tell something is wrong with Mia, figuring it has to do with her grades, but assures her that there isn't anything wrong with getting a B. However, Mia knows for her, being rich and everything, there is nothing wrong, but for Mia there is, since she can't screw this up. Emily thinks that she can't go through life thinking everything is the most important decision in her life, and that's crazy talk, but every day has a new opportunity for her. Mia believes that Emily only thinks that because of so many options afforded to her by being rich, and she is terrified that she'll come down to one single moment or choice in her life and she'll just miss it. Emily reminds Mia that they are friends and she loves her, assuring her that everything is going to be alright and no matter what happens, she's going to take care of her, upsetting Mia since obviously Emily didn't understand what Mia was really saying. The next day, Mia returns to Aiko in the library, telling her that she doesn't know why she is there. Aiko talks to her about libraries and how they're obsessed with architecture, and most of the time it doesn't actually matter, but they make the most honest of boxes. She asks Mia how the library makes her feel, and Mia says she feels unwelcome because she works really hard to fit in. Aiko knows that she does, but people like her thrive in places like this, and they even built most of them. But Mia will fall through the cracks of it by working too hard to belong. Mia refuses to give up on her life, but Aiko knows that after a long enough time, everyone gives up, and this way is a better way. Aiko reveals that she wants to give Mia all of her knowledge on magic and study her as she learns it. Mia agrees to do so, but doesn't understand why, and Aiko reminds her that it's because of who she is, a studier of what Mia is, and what she could be. Mia asks if the woman is going to take care of her now, but Aiko is quick to make it known that she won't, and either Mia will sink or swim on her own. Aiko once again asks Mia if she'll join her in the Centaur, and with a smile, Mia walks through the library with Aiko, leaving her old life behind.